for all of you who want to wholesale real estate. So if you're looking to wholesale real estate, grab your pens, grab your papers. We're going to talk about the people who need to be on your team so you can build your business up. All right? Because y'all don't understand this. Y'all really don't. Yep. You need some people on your team because you can't do it all. Trust me, I've tried that, and you actually lose money trying to do everything yourself. So grab your pens and papers, tag a friend, bring a friend, share the video out with whoever you need to share this video out with because we are getting ready to start in just a second. So I want to copy this. I got to share it to my groups. So while I'm sharing this out with my groups, I need y'all to share it too. Because I have to share this with my groups because they'd be really mad thinking I did something for everybody else, but I didn't do it for them. So we're going to stop doing everything yourself because that's costing you a lot of money. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So how is it that you're losing money? Because you're doing everything yourself. And anybody that you hire first should be helping you generate money. So we're going to go in order of how you should be hiring people. All right? A little bit. Because sometimes it's not good for you to go in order, especially if you don't have the money to do so. Okay? But anyway, anyhow, anywho, my name is Lisa Robinson. I'm y'all's favorite real estate diva out here in these real estate streets, slutting it up. That means I do a little bit of everything, but I try to maintain this one thing. I will consistently wholesale real estate, and that is the way that a lot of you are attempting to get into real estate, but you're not getting into it the right way. So, since you're not getting into it the right way, I'm going to show you some steps. Today, we're going to talk about some tips, some tricks, some things that you need to know. First things first, let's do some housekeeping. Housekeeping is if I say something and you don't understand exactly what it is that I said, then you, my friend, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, heifers and hustlers, divas and dudes, y'all need to stop and ask a question. If you do not understand exactly what it is that I said and you need clarification, put the question in the chat. Say, hey, can you repeat that? Hey, can you explain that a different way? Because sometimes your brain might not work like my brain. My brain don't work like everybody else's brain anyway. So we try to make it so that we know what we're doing. And y'all know it's Wednesday night, so yes, we got a beverage. I'm addicted to calypsos, all flavors, don't matter which one. Well, it do matter which one because I only drink like 3 different flavors. Yes, how y'all know it's fresh. You hear that? I know it's fresh. All right, so what I want to tell y'all, because y'all don't understand, and y'all think I'll be trying to just pull one over on y'all or do something that y'all don't really get, but I try to work within what it is y'all got going on. Because y'all be missing it. All right. Now, if you can hear me, put in the number 1. If you can hear and see me, put the number 2 in the comments because I need to make sure that all of my technology is working the correct way. And so what we're trying to do now is, like I said, tonight we're going to be talking about how you need to stop losing money and start building your team. You are losing money when you do not. You're losing money when you're trying to do everything yourself. Trust me when I tell you this because I've done it. I do it, still do it from time to time because I'm one of those people. I want everything done. I feel like it's not being done correctly unless I'm doing it. And that's going to cost you a lot of money. So I'm also going to, y'all know, I always start off with something that happened to me today in wholesaling. What happened today is this. I have another property. I told y'all the other day, these properties been giving me the business lately. So I have another property that actually has been under contract since probably, I want to say late May, early June, still hasn't closed. Why hasn't it closed? Because the buyer's attorney is waiting for him to pay him. He wants to be paid up front for the things that he's going to do. And I don't blame him because sometimes with wholesalers you don't get your money. Just let's keep it real. These deals don't always close. So he wants to be paid up front. And until he's paid, he's not going to order a title. Well, my seller is losing money because she still has a mortgage on this house and it's not being paid. So she is trying to get out of it. So I'm like, okay, look, let me figure out what I can do. Boom. So I start doing all the things that I told you guys you're going to have to do. I started calling the attorneys. I started calling the buyer. The buyer's telling me one story. My attorneys are telling me a different story. Both attorneys, his and hers, they're telling me different things. So if they're telling me two different things, they're telling me he hasn't paid his EMD. They're telling me he hasn't paid the deposit to get the title done. He's saying he's paid it. They're saying he hasn't. Now, who am I going to believe? Two attorneys? Of course. So now I put the property back out. I do it all the time. And from now on until I get all my everything I need met, we are not going nowhere. I don't take my properties down until I have everything met. And since I can't confirm that everything was met, the property was remarketed. So then I get a text message from the buyer. You don't have a legal right to market that property. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because the seller told me to. And you don't have an actual contract because you're in breach of contract because you haven't done everything that you were supposed to do. We don't have the deposit. We don't have the title order. So as far as I'm concerned, it's just a dead piece of paper. And yes, I checked with the attorney before I did that, and he said cool. So now I'm getting this whole you need to take that down, and this is my last time asking. Okay, trust me, I know how to sell a house. I don't have problems selling houses. I think in the past 5 years, I've only had two properties that I personally had up under contract, and I wasn't JVing with nobody else. My properties have always sold, with the exception is the one I told you about the other day from Syracuse. So it's out there. We're doing what we do. Okay. All right, pumpkins. Always do what you do. Now, let's talk about these. Let's talk about these the teammates that you should have. Now, a lot of you come to me, you want to learn how to wholesale. A lot of you come to me, you want to learn how to do Airbnbs. A lot of you come to me, you want to build your portfolios out, and that's fine. I can help you do all that. But right now, this in this season, we are trying to get you situated because when I tell you that there's something huge getting ready to happen in real estate, I want y'all to believe it. And I also want y'all to have the money to be able to participate in it. So, what are we going to do? We're going to wholesale some real estate. That's what we're going to do. Now, yesterday I told you guys about um, we talked about the deal from hell, and we talked about how to find your market and this, that, and the other. Now we're going to talk about building up your teams. Now, why do I need a team right away, Lisa? I don't haven't started. I don't have any money. I can't pay anybody. That's cool. And that's fine. But what you're going to do is this. You're going to, if you're going to wholesale virtually, which we talked about that a lot yesterday. I live in Buffalo. I have a deal that's getting shown. I have a house that's getting shown tomorrow in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Guess who's never been in Milwaukee? Me. Never. Not one day ever in my life. I don't even think I flew over Milwaukee yet. Going somewhere else. I couldn't tell you what's in Milwaukee. So yeah. So what I want you guys to do is to start from the start. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about getting your team built out, the things that you're going to need. Now, rule number one, like I said, if I say something you don't understand it, ask a question because we are not here to not understand the process. Okay. Rule number two: if this is your first time, don't let it be your last. And if you've been here before, thank you for the support. I love you. Yeah, hard hands. So we are doing this. So the first person you should have on your team, besides you, excuse me, y'all. That's my son coming here screaming and yelling. So the first person you should have on your team is yourself. Let me explain. When you first start out, you're going to be the cold caller, the skip tracer, you're going to be the cold caller, the skip tracer, you're going to be the showing assistant, the transaction coordinator. You're going to be all of that. Okay, until you get your team. Now, I'm a big believer in, and I'm a firm believer, and I tell you guys this all the time: don't spend money that you don't have. Don't spend money that you haven't made. I honestly tell you every single time. Hey, Nick, I tell you guys all the time: do not spend money until you make money. Now, here's how you're going to get around all that. All right. Now, the first person you're going to hire is yourself. The first thing you need to do, this is your business. It's not your side hustle. It's not just something you doing. I'm not trying to hit it and quit it. It's not something that you do that with. Oh God, it's a fly in my house. Okay. Now, the first thing you should do is make out a schedule. How often are you going to be able to wholesale? How much time can you put into wholesaling real estate? How much time? When are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? What are you going to do when you're doing it? So, my day looks crazy. But I tell you guys all the time, on Mondays, I'm catching up. That's an admin day. That's when I'm doing my behind the scenes things. I might be doing my books. I might be doing making sure that letters went out. I might be doing anything that could happen. And we're going to talk about this in detail today. Okay. Now, on Tuesday, that's a follow up day. That's the day I'm going to follow up on everything that I had that happened over the weekend. That's the day I'm going to send all the emails, phone calls, and text messages to the buyers, the sellers, the attorneys, and the title companies. And my JV partners. That's the day I'm going to do all that. Y'all get that? Okay. And then on the next day, Wednesday, I might have a day where I'm making phone calls, or a day where I'm heavy on showings, or a day where I'm trying to figure it all out. It might be a day where I'm reorganizing. It might be a day where I'm going through and I'm calling previous leads. It might be anything. Then on Thursdays, I know for a fact it's a heavy showing day. It's also a coaching day. That's the day where I'm going to have the majority of my coaching calls via phone or Zoom. On Fridays, I have a catch, I call it a catch all day. I catch up, catch all. That's where I catch all that stuff that is coming up or anything that might pop up out of the blue. And I have one coaching call on that day. And that's it. Okay. So that's what we do on Fridays. Saturdays and Sundays, I tend to reserve the weekends for my family. Why? Because I get up at 5 a.m. and sometimes I don't leave my desk until 7 at night, 8 o'clock at night. I know last night I didn't get away from my desk until about 9:30. So that's why I didn't stop working until 9:30. That's why we have days assigned, and I have the weekends for the coconuts. Coconuts, if y'all just now starting to follow me, the coconuts are my kids and grandkids. That's who the coconuts are. All right. So that's what we do. So in the meantime and in between time, what you try to do and you have to do is you want to, this fly is going to drive me nuts. You want to make sure you plan out your days. Okay. So the first person on your team is you. You need a schedule. The first thing, and I go through this in my boot camp, and I tell everybody, and this is part of the pre work that's getting sent out tomorrow morning. Hint, hint to those of you who are in the boot camp that starts on October 13th. Your pre work is getting sent to you tomorrow morning so that you guys will understand and know what it is that you're doing. Okay? All right. Now, the part of the pre work is this, and this is what I tell everybody. The first thing you should do is make a schedule. You're going to write down what you do for 3 days straight. For 3 whole days, 3 days, you're going to write down the time you wake up and everything you do and the time you started and the time you finished it. So if you wake up at 5 a.m. like I do, from 5 to 5:30, I might be watching the stock channel, or I might be doing working on my stepper, or I might be reading, or I might pray, or I might just sit there and play a game on my iPad or look through my emails, whatever it is. Okay. So that's the first thing. So I'm going to say from 5 to 5:30, I did this. At 5:30, I might be at the gym. So from 5:30 to 7 o'clock, I might be at the gym. I might be, if it's a home workout day, I might be at home working out. If it's a gym workout day, I might be at the gym working out, but this might be my workout time. And I might be watching my stock channel that I love so much at the same time. Okay. So that's something else I want you guys to understand. All right. Now, another thing is okay, 7 o'clock. From 7 o'clock to 7:20, yep, I might be in the shower. Or I might be at the grocery store if I went to the gym because there's a grocery store right across from my gym. I might be at the grocery store. I might be on the phone with my sister before she go to work. I might be on the phone with one of my friends while they're dropping the kids off at school. Or I might be on the phone with one of my kids because I have grown children and they want to talk to me before they go to work or before they start doing whatever it is that they're going to do for the day. So it depends. But I want you to write down everything that you do and then you can see where you're messing up time. Now this is why this is important. You are your first teammate, right? If you are your first teammate, guess what? If you're the first person on the team, that means you're the one that got to do all the work right now, right? Right. So you're the first person on the team, you're the one that's doing the work, and the first thing I want you to do is this. You're going to write down what it is that you do and you're going to stop watching TV. Wait a minute, Delisa. What? You mean I can't watch TV? No, because the average person watches three hours of TV per day. Now, if you're watching TV for 3 hours a day, that's 21 hours a week. That's almost one whole day you wasted watching TV. Now, I just told you I watch my stock show, but I'm working out while I'm doing it. I might be making my day while I'm doing it. It's on for background noise. Right now, I'm addicted to CNN because I want to hear all the debates. I want to hear about all the things that's going on in the world. I want to hear everything that's going on. So I'm addicted to CNN. So you might even hear that in my background now, but that's where it is in the background. Okay. So what I want you guys to do is pay attention to the things that are wasting your time. What is it that you do that keeps you from making money? What is it that you're doing that says, "Hey, I can't quite get it done yet. I got to do this, or I'm addicted to Bridgerton, or whatever else is out there. I don't know. I just go by whatever's popular. Family Business is another one that's popular. Power was popular for a while. Y'all can tell I haven't watched none of this in so long, so I couldn't tell y'all. But that it is what it is. So when you're out doing, and I want you to pay attention to how you are wasting time. What's keeping you from producing income for your business? A lot of y'all like to say, "I don't have time," but you get up at 7 a.m. You don't, or you get up at 6 a.m. You don't have to be to work till 9. How long does it take you to get to work? How long does it take you to shower? How long does it take you to do anything? Is there something else you could be doing during that time? Could you be skip tracing during that time? Okay, you got a lunch break. You get an hour of lunch break. You bring your lunch so you don't have to leave the premises. So you get a soup, a sandwich, and it takes you 20 minutes to eat your lunch. What are you doing for the other 40 minutes? Can you make a phone call? Can you follow up? Can you send a text message? Can you research a property? Can you skip trace properties while you're on your lunch break? Can you, when you come home, those of you that are single and have no children, when you get off work at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, what time do you go to bed? 10. Guess what? You can still make phone calls from 5:30, the time it took you to get home, till 9 in the majority of the states in the union. Okay? Or you could be sending a text message. You don't feel like doing it? Guess what? Tonight is my night. I want to do a bubble bath. Okay, sit in your bubble bath. Nobody's saying you can't take a bubble bath. Okay, sit in your bubble bath and send text messages. Multitask. You're going to have to. All right. So, this is the thing, you are your first teammate. So, if you don't have time for your business, how do you expect somebody else to have time for your business? It's not theirs, it's yours. That's what I heard. It's not their business, it's your business. So if you don't have time for it, how do you expect somebody else to have time for it? How do you expect somebody else to respect it? And y'all love to say, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm doing all these things and I have all this business and I'm in business. I'm in business. I started my business. What are you doing in your business? Now, me and my friend Tasha, and if Tasha see this, hey girl, me and my friend Tasha, I will always admire her for this. Tasha talked about it for the longest time. She wanted to move to Florida. Okay. She woke up one day, she texted me, she said, hey, I'm leaving in about 2, 3 weeks. Well, Tasha had sold all her furniture. She had found her somewhere to stay. She had found her an apartment or a condo, whatever it was. I can't remember because I didn't see that house. The only house I seen when I went to go visit her was the house she living in now, which was the house she bought. So she found her somewhere to stay. She put down her deposit. She had already flew back and forth and did all this other stuff. And she did it during COVID. Yeah. Okay. Or right around probably the year after COVID, whatever. But if she sees this, she was the wind beneath my wings on this. Okay. Now, we set out. She's also one of my biggest supporters, my biggest cheerleaders, and one of my biggest kick me in the behind people that when I ain't doing right, she get me right. So she she circling back, she told me we had an accountability meeting every morning at 6 a.m. Yep. We had an accountability meeting every day at 6 a.m. And y'all probably like, who the heck y'all talking? I nobody better not call me at 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, you know what? You do it for your business. We came up with this whole plan to be productive for our businesses. And because we met when we worked at the collection agency, and the collection agency was no joke. You work 2 days a week, eight, no, 3 days a week, 8 to 5, 2 days a week, 12 to 9, 12 noon to 9 p.m. We didn't work weekends. Thank God for Conserve because they didn't want us to work weekends. But the thing is, when we made this arrangement, when you we worked for somebody else and we was punching somebody else's clock, we was at work at 7:30 in the morning because we had to make our first phone call by 8. We had a strict schedule that we had to follow. Between 8 and 12, we were doing this. From 12 to 4, we were doing this. From 4 to 5, we might have been at lunch or doing whatever. And from 5 to 9, we made this. That was our entire day, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. And we knew what we had to do. And me, as an operations manager at the time, I knew I had to run a team. So not only did I have to know what I was doing, I had to know what 12 other people on the floor was doing as well. So you have to have a schedule. You have to have a day. On this day I'm doing this, on this day I'm doing that. This is the inventory I'm going to run. It's the same thing when you run your own business. I don't care if you're selling seashells by the seashore. I don't care if you repurposing sneakers or if you customizing sneakers. I don't care if you do braiding people's hair. I don't care what it is that you're doing. You have to run your business with the same exact execution as you did when you punched somebody else's clock, even if it's a side hustle, even if it's part time. When you set aside that time for it, you tune everything out. Y'all wasn't sitting on your cell phones talking about what was happening on the Real Housewives or whatever while y'all was at work. I know we didn't do it at concert because we get fired if we have our phones out. So I know we wasn't doing it at concert. So you see what I'm saying? You have to prep yourself. You have to know exactly what it is that you need to do in your business on a daily basis in order to make it work. All right? All right. So you are the first person on your team. You have to set the tone, you have to set the structure, and you have to execute the plan that you come up with for your business. Now I'm telling y'all this. Why am I telling y'all this on October 2nd? Because it's the first second day of the month, but it's the first month of the last quarter of the year, and you can still possibly make six figures this quarter in wholesaling real estate. You really can. Trust me, I got a challenge coming up, and I think it's gonna be close to free as I can get it. It's gonna be cheap. So I want y'all to understand that's probably gonna come up in November because I got a lot going on in October already. Now, the one thing I want y'all to understand, hear this, hear me well, hear me often. You are your first teammate. So you are the person that's going to set the tone, execute, and do everything else. You also need to write down your steps and procedures and how you want things done now as you go along. That's what you should be doing. As far as building out your teams, for those of you who are just joining us, we're talking about wholesaling real estate and building our team, the people you need on your team in order for your business, not just you, for your business to work. Okay. Now, second person, because I already said you, right? Who's the second person you think you need on your team? You can put that in the comments. Who's the second person you guys think you need on your teams? I'd like to know. Well, I'm going to tell you. Another person, and it doesn't have to be the second person on your team, but the next person you need on your team is a skip tracer. But Delisa, skip tracers cost so much. Really? Do they? Really? They don't. Mm-mm. I can get 10,000. Y'all hear me say that 10,000 properties skip trace for under $300. So how's it? Y'all don't want to skip trace, okay? You don't want to make phone calls. You don't want to skip trace, but you have to make the phone calls until you get yourself flowing and your cash is coming in. So, because VAs cost money, skip tracers don't cost that much. So, you're going to go on fiverr.com. Yep, Fiverr, Fiverr.com. You're going to go on fiverr.com. You're going to put in skip tracing and you're going to start looking through the reviews and seeing who's a good skip tracer for you. And you're going to, their rates are there, everything is there. So, if you want to go on Fiverr, you can do that. Okay. Here's another person. What is a skip tracer going to do? A skip tracer, you're going to pull your list from whatever platform you use, and you're going to send that list over to the skip tracer. They're going to find the owner's name, address, phone number, email address, probably some of their relatives and everything else, and they're going to send that spreadsheet back to you. And then you could just start making phone calls. But Lisa, I don't want to make phone calls. I know you don't, but you kind of have to if you don't have the money to pay a skip tracer. I mean, to pay a cold caller right now. Do you have money to pay a cold caller? Or here's a move. You could JV with someone, or you could hire them on a commission basis. That's all I can tell you. All right. So you're going to have you, and then you have a skip tracer. Okay. Now, the next person, because once you close once you close one deal, if your deal is at least $5,000, let me tell you, you could hire a part-time cold caller. You really could. Because now, and believe me when I tell you all these cold callers, if you go into any of these, all you got to do is go into one of these wholesaling groups on Facebook and say, I need a cold caller. And 50, 11 million cold callers are going to comment underneath with their links and everything else. Okay. So they there. There's one, the cheapest one I had was $4 an hour. They were in the Philippines. I did a virtual assistant from the Philippines, and they called my people and they sent me leads. So some of them will schedule your appointments for you, so you don't have to worry about following up on a warm lead or whatever. They will. So you want to make sure you get all of that in there. All right. Okay. So you need you. Remember, you're the first teammate. Then you need a skip tracer. Then you're going to need a cold caller. A cold caller is just that. Their job is to make days. Now, what makes a good cold caller? First of all, let's back up. What's going to make a good skip tracer? You're going to have to keep track of how many people you sent over, how many leads, how many calls they sent back, and how many leads you got out of that. Why? Because that's called KPI, key performance indicators. So just because you hire a skip tracer doesn't mean you keep a skip tracer. Now you're gonna ask me what's a good ratio. I'm telling you, honestly, for me, the skip tracer I use right now, he's good. Not even gonna lie. He finds he even find my corporate people. He finds the corporate home who owns the corporation for me and everything else. He's good. He like I said, but he won't cost some money. No. The and then he sends me the list back. If I send him 1,000, he's gonna send me 1,000 back. I might get about from my and then I send that list over to my cold caller. The cold caller might give me, I would say maybe 10 to 20 solid leads. Solid leads. Now you get a lot of people that say, yeah, I'm interested in hearing your offer, and they'll a cold caller will send that over to you, and we know that's BS. Because as soon as you say what the offer is, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not selling, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. So that's why I don't like cold calling, because I'm like, I could be doing so many other things with my time instead of this. That's why I do. That's why I don't like cold calling. So the one thing we want to do, the one thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you keep track of how many you sent, how many calls, and then what you want to see for the skip tracer, how many good numbers did they send back? Well, you don't know. You just know how many numbers they send back. But you want to see how many people contact, how many wrong numbers, this. And your cold caller is going to give you that information. What? Yep. They send a report of the good numbers. It might be once a week, once a month, but they're supposed to send you a report. And if they don't, you tell them you want a report of how many bad numbers you had, how many good numbers you had, how many contacts you had, how many people said they didn't want. You want to know all that stuff because you want to make sure that's how you're going to know if you have a good skip tracer or not. Okay. Now, leads. The leads are coming from the cold caller. So now this is how you're going to gauge if the cold caller is doing what they're supposed to do. They're going to call. Now, my cold caller calls 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 40 hours. Okay. This is not my $4 an hour girl. She makes more than that. Probably. I haven't even figured out because I pay by the month. And that's what that is. Okay. So when I tell you now for the skip tracing part, because I do have a female cold caller, she calls 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. She don't work on the weekends because she got family too. So now what we do is, how do I get from her? How many leads do I get a week? And then how many leads did I get this week? I have a spreadsheet. I'm a spreadsheet queen, child. I'm telling y'all now, I created a spreadsheet. I've been creating spreadsheets for myself since I was in collections. So I created a spreadsheet, and I'll have 30 days in a week, 30 days in a month, And I'll put how many phone calls did I have, how many bad numbers did I get, and I put all that on that spreadsheet. So I'm tracking what the cold caller did versus what the actual skip tracer provided. So have to, both of them are being graded at that time. Because if you're in business, you need to know where your money's going. You need to know what's making you money, what's losing you money, and what's not doing either. Okay, your money is supposed to work for you. So if I pay this skip tracer, that means I should be getting leads back. And from those leads that I'm getting from her, I should be getting closings. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. So you want to know, you have to, they call it KPI, key performance indicators. Okay, you have to know this if you're going to be in business, in this type of business. And a lot of y'all say, oh, well, I just want to make a few dollars every month, or I just want to make $5,000 extra every month. Okay, $5,000, that could be one deal. So if you only want one deal a month, that's fine. But you still need to know where your money's going. You still need to know how to get there, how to get there. And you need somebody to help you get there. Okay. So now, so when you, now once the leads get generated and they get sent over to you, you can have an assistant, which is the next person that you need. You need an assistant. An assistant can be doing anything. An assistant can have multiple functions. I have a director of operations, and we'll go over that too. Her job, she takes the leads from the skip tracer and she calls them. I'm also hiring director of operations. Okay. I'm hiring a director of operations. I put it out there, and I got a couple of resumes that I have to review. So we'll be getting to that. I'll be probably looking at those starting Monday because it's been hell, and I and I haven't been able to catch up yet with everything that's going on. I'm not comfortable in the spot. So there it is. So once you have my director of operations takes the warm lead. These are the people who said they wanted to sell their house. She then picks that up from the virtual assistant, who's the cold caller, and she calls and she sets up appointments. Not only does she set up appointments, she keeps track of the transactions that are coming in. Why? Because that's her money. My director of operation makes 20% of what I make of my money. So let me explain to y'all how will this break down for those of y'all who don't understand it. Okay. Now, my director of operations makes 20%. My JV partners make 40%. Now, she making 20 and they're making 40, that's 60%. So if I make 10,000, I only get 4. Now, out of that 4,000, I still have to pay my skip tracer, my VA, my transaction coordinator sometimes, depending on what I'm doing. My my JV, oh no, JV partner I don't even pay. And I gotta pay for all of my systems. So I might make out of 10,000, I might make 2, depending on how it works, which is why I'm busting my butt on a regular basis. So you have to break that down. Like, how much is it? How much are you making per lead? How much does each lead cost you? You have to break that down. So at the end of every transaction, when I'm breaking everything down, I pay $97 a month for PropStream. I pay $1,200 a month for a cold caller. So you round that up to 100. That's $1,300. hmm I pay $65 a month to Google for email addresses and things of that nature because we need to have our own domain and our own email addresses in our whole Google business suite. hmm I pay $300 a month for a cell phone bill, but I digress. That's everybody bill on one, and I only pay $100. I pay $90 of that for me, and my boys pay the rest. So you have to break these bills down on a monthly basis, and then you're going to break it down. Like if I only made $5,000 this month, because maybe remember a couple weeks ago I told y'all I was supposed to make 40,000. I ended up only making 5 or 4. I ended up making 4. So then, good thing I didn't have a JV partner on that, so the 4,000 ended up being mine, but I still had to pay my bills. So you have to also budget. You have to do your key performance indicators. You got to do your budget. You got to do all this stuff. So that's why I said you have. That's how you're gonna judge your skip tracer. That's how you're gonna judge your cold caller. Okay, which is your virtual assistant, your cold caller. Now let's talk about boots on the ground because this is your next one. Especially if you're gonna virtual wholesale, you're gonna have boots on the ground. Or if you live in your city but you don't want to go out, you just don't want to go look at the houses. You just want to send people out. Boots on the ground. A boots on the ground can be your photographer. Some photographers might charge you like $125 to just go out and take pictures of a property for you. Um, some boots on the ground are going to ask to JV, and you might be paying anywhere from 30, 40, 50%. Some boots on the ground, and boots on the ground are the people that are helping you move that property. They're the people that go take the pictures. They might help. They might help you with showings. They might. Uh, they can do a lot. Yeah, they do a lot. Well, mine do because my boots on. I don't use boots on the ground. I call them my JV partners because I know all the stuff that they're going to have to do. So I let them do it. Yeah, that's what they do. Now, so that's what you want. So you want to know how who your boots on the ground. Your boots on the ground is going to go take pictures. They're going to help you show. They might help you get contracts signed. They are you. Only they're local to where the property is located. Okay. All right. Next thing next. Your bird dogs. What's that bird dog? That sounds so weird. And I think we're gonna stop at bird dog today because a lot of you don't know that, but I suffer from migraines and I feel like a little headache coming right behind this eye. So I think we're going to stop after this one. A bird dog is the person who might be your person who scouts out the property for you. They're the person that brought you the property. And you'll see it. Sometimes you'll see me post, hey, if you bring me a property that looks like this, I'll give you $500. I'll give you $300 just for bringing me the property. Yeah, just for bringing the property. And this person will, like my son does it for me all the time. Because he cuts grass. My son has his own little lawn care business. So he goes out, he's cutting grass. He might be riding around, he might see these properties. Hey, Ma, look, take the picture and send it to me. My daughter does it. She's out, hey, Ma, I saw this house, look at it. And she knows better than my boys do. My younger son is the only one that sends me properties. My older son, he's a JV partner because he doesn't live in Buffalo anymore. He lives in Rochester. So when he's my boots on the ground in Rochester. Mhm. So we do that. He's not the only one. I usually, when it comes to boots on the ground, I work multiple markets at a time. So my boots on the ground, yeah, they're doing a lot. And I on my JV partner, I have no more than 5 per market. I have no more than 5 people per market. Yep, that's how that works. So the bird dog is someone who scouts properties. And where it comes from, bird dog is a hunting term. Because you see the little dogs, the little beagle dogs that be helping when they be duck season on everybody's seen it before, at least once, where you see all these people talking about how they're going hunting and they take the dogs with them. That's a bird dog because they're hunting. It's like when they go duck hunting or something like that, and that's what they call it, a bird dog. Mhm. Now we're gonna stop at bird dog. I'm gonna take me some medicine and go to bed because this headache is getting worse by the minute. The more I sit here. So that's it. Now, another thing, a reminder right now, when we talk about, I tell you guys all the time about this one, and y'all be thinking I be lying when I tell y'all the stuff that's in here. We are getting ready to do the Get Wired Wholesale Boot Camp. Get Wired Wholesale Boot Camp. This is where you're going to be hands on. I'm going to hold your hand and you're going to be hands on doing the work in the boot camp. Okay. This one is where you will learn how to find motivated sellers, how to pitch to motivated sellers. You will learn how to find and pitch qualified buyers, how to build a qualified buyers list. We're going to be in detail. You're going to learn systems. You're going to learn how to do deal analysis. And I'm going to teach you how to do deal analysis 2 different ways, maybe 3. Well, it's going to be 3 because I'm going to teach you how to do it by square foot. I'm going to teach you how to do it by comps, and I'm going to teach you how to do land. Because a lot of you want to wholesale land and don't have a clue what you're doing. We're going to go over all 8 contracts that I use in my wholesaling business. Yes, I said 8 because a lot of y'all run around here saying all you need is a purchase agreement and an assignment agreement. That's 2. There's 6 more that I use that you're going to need. You're going to need, what if somebody say, what if they want to change some of the terms in the agreement? What you going to do, write a whole new contract? No, you're going to put it on an addendum and reference the contract that you had before. So we talk about all that and and you guys will fill it out. Okay. We're going to be doing live phone calls. We're going to do deal analytics, deal or no deal. Is this a good deal? Is it not a good deal? We're going to learn what to do when you don't have a good deal and you need to get a good deal. What else can you do with this property to sell it? We're going to be talking about that. So when I tell you this is normally, you're also going to get access to the wholesaling real estate class, my work, not in it. While you're in the boot camp, you will have access to the wholesaling real estate class, which means you will be able to go through my wholesaling course and actually do the work along with this boot camp. Boot camp is 4 weeks. You will get the workbook. You will get the access to the training. You will get the replays of our live trainings. So there is no reason for you not to be able to make money and do the work. Okay. All of that you will get for, normally I charge $497 because it's a 4-week class. This until Friday. You have until Friday at 11:59 p.m. before the price will increase. It is currently $97. Y'all heard me. $97. And we meet twice a week for 4 weeks. So it's 8 sessions. You will get live replays for the sessions and we will go from there. But yeah, get all that, $97. If you need the link, you're on Facebook, you know what? On Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, I'm sorry, but I don't have the link for you guys. But if you DM me, the phrase "get wired," I will send you the link so you can register for the class. You have until Friday, 11:59 to get it. You have until Friday at 11:59 to get the class for 97, to get the work boot camp for $97. After Friday, it's going up. So I don't want to hear it because you got a lot. And as soon as you're going to have pre-work, you're going to have all this other stuff. So, all right. So you will have pre-work and you will have, hi Amber. Where you been, girl? So I put the link to the course, the link to bootcamp in the comments. On Instagram, I can't link my comments to you guys. So if you want the Get Wired boot camp, to just DM me the word Get Wired, and I'll send you the link so you can register. Friday is the absolute last day that you can get into this boot camp for $97. Now you can still get in, and you're going and because we start October 13th, not this Sunday, but the Sunday after. You will we will start, and you will have and you'll be able to do all your and you're gonna learn, trust me. Now I have something special for the person, for each person. The first person to get a contract, I got something special for the first person to get a contract. I got something special for the first person to close a deal. Yeah, it's gonna be lit, as y'all like to say. We definitely gonna be out here in these streets getting things done. Now, I'm gonna get ready to head up out of here. Been on here now for 46 minutes. Thank you. My system up here. Y'all can't see it, but I can. It's right here. And it tells me how long I've been on. So I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here and get ready to send out all the pre-work for the session one. Session one is October 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We meet every Sunday and every Wednesday for the next 4 weeks. And the only Sunday I can think of right now that we probably will not meet, which means we'll end up starting on a Sunday and ending on a Sunday, is November 3rd. And that's because it's my son's 21st birthday. And I'm not going to not celebrate. He got cake and ice cream already getting ordered. So that's what we're going to do. Okay? All right, all right, all right. Now, remember what I tell you. If this is your first time, don't let it be last time. And if you've been here before, thank you for the support and for always coming back. I appreciate it. Now, if you want to learn, if you have not followed the YouTube channel, it's Delisa Robinson, the Real Estate Diva on YouTube. Delisa at the Real Estate Diva at the Real Estate Diva on Instagram, and Delisa Robinson, the Real Estate Diva on Facebook. And you can join the two Facebook groups that I manage. We have Black women who invest in real estate. And then we have Hammers and Heels. Hammers and Heels is open to everybody who wants to learn how to do real estate. And inside there, I give little tips, tricks. We got files and all kinds of stuff going on in there. So if you want to learn real estate, that's where you need to start. So after we talk about, this is day one, part one. I think I'm going to finish this up tomorrow. And then Friday, we'll start with systems, the different systems that you need when you're going to wholesale real estate. Okay. And when I say systems, I'm not just talking about PropStream, Deal Machine, and all that. I'm talking about systems that you need to have in place. So we'll talk about the tools, because that's what PropStream and Deal Machine and all that other stuff are. Those are tools that you need. Today we're talking about building your team, and we've been talking about the people that need to be on your team. You, especially you are the HBIC on your team. Your skip tracer, your cold caller. We talked about your boots on the ground, and we talked about them bird dogs. That's 5 people that's on your team. And I still haven't even mentioned your attorney. We haven't talked about your accountant. We haven't talked about the insurance agent. We ain't talking about none of that. Okay? And we still here. So I'm going to tell you this. There's a lot of people that are going to help you be successful in this. And you definitely going to have to, as you want your business to grow, and it will grow, because I always tell you guys, what you focus on will expand. Wherever you focus in or laser in on it, that's what's going to expand. So if you're focused on positive business and growing your business, then that's what's going to happen. Trust me, I believe it. And that's where I'm trying to get back to anyway. Because Lord knows, it's been a hard 2023 can kick rocks. It sucked. So now we're back in business. But keep in mind, The reason why I'm doing these series for you guys is because we are getting ready to experience something in real estate that we have not either seen in a very long time or we have never seen in our time. So, and I'm including myself when I say our time. So, we are getting ready to experience a real estate bump. Believe it. I don't care who won the election. You're getting ready to experience a lot of opportunities that are going to happen to you in real estate, from you being able to purchase properties, you've been able to build properties, build out properties, you've been able to invest in projects. Everything is getting ready to start popping off in real estate. And I want you guys to be ready. That's why we're doing this. Okay. Now, remember, Delisa Robinson, your favorite real estate diva. And I always tell you guys, you can choose to be anything you want in this life. I just hope you choose to be kind, because at some point in your life, somebody was kind to you. And if you, it's always just good to pay kindness forward. Not only does it make you a good person, but if enough people do, it makes the world a better place. And we could all use a much better place in the world right now. Alrighty. So I will see you later. I love and like you a lot. Peace. Hasta la bye bye.